Okay, let me... Sorry, I got caught up in watching the Gauntlet trailer. Okay. Focus, focus, focus. Twitch. Is it Twitch TV?
Twitch.tv/PHNRI.
/PHNERI.
That will bring you forth to my channel,
Wow.
wherein I occasionally stream things.
That's what I hear.
Occasionally.
Yeah, you know,
It's a raritude.
of course. Why is it not taking me to it? My computer is thinking.
Twitch.tv/PHNRI.
Come on. Ah. Okay, I'll probably get there and it'll probably have some sort of an ad or something.
Maybe. Might do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends.
Okay. Yeah, I think I have the first Dungeon Defenders. I played
Yeah,
that.
hey, guess what? This is a lot like that.
Yeah, I would imagine. What the hell? Oh, God, I hate when the ads come in like a couple of seconds after I see part of the regular game. So I'm thinking, why does Dungeon Defenders have lightsabers? Then I realized, oh, this is the ad.
That'd be great.
That would be totally great, but
That'd be
it's just
so
like,
much better.
That's why I was kind of like excited. I was like, dude, that looks cool. Oh, this is not the game.
Yeah. I'm gonna hop into a private session instead of a
All
group, because I'm not gonna be playing this long, in theory.
Uh-huh. Hopefully.
So I'm my tavern.
Cool. Drinking, drinking, drinking.
This is where you run around, do dumb shit.
Oh, yeah. Typically.
You can improve your equipment, you can buy new equipment.
Uh-huh.
You can report bugs, because it's an alpha. They say this is a pre-alpha. This is at least beta in terms of
I was
development.
gonna say, as far
Like,
as finished goes, this is pretty not alpha.
Yeah, this is like 90% done.
Yeah.
Like, there's a couple mechanics that are not integrated yet. Like if I go into my character manager, there's a couple bits there like list is coming soon, text isn't in for some stuff.
I'm guessing they're saying alpha just because they want to CYA a little bit.
Yeah, they're calling it pre-alpha. This is
Not pre-alpha.
well past. Like this is not just break.
Right.
Regularly. So this is, I would call this well past an alpha.
Yeah, I would totally call it. Yeah, I would call it near done.
Yes.
I mean, the polish on the graphics are already there and stuff.
Well, I mean, in terms of the graphics, it's the same goddamn game engine that the first one ran on.
Right, right. Well, I mean, for this type of game, the game graphics are
Yeah.
already there. I'm not saying it's like amazing graphics. I'm just saying it's similar to the first.
So I've hopped into a game. I'm a guy running around. I have my general attacks. I have a couple special abilities, all that sort of stuff. And I have this inn to defend. I have barricades to defend. So, to that end, I will build towers. As in...
Yeah, this totally looks like... Is it just like bigger rooms than the first one, or...?
It's not rooms, it's like locations, but...
Well, okay, but yeah, that's what
I will defend...
Right, that's why I consider them rooms just because there's a limited area that you're in charge of, I guess, but...
I will defend this goal with towers.
Right.
You might refer to this as tower defense, as
that's
it were.
yeah, it's like a 3D tower defense kind of thing.
Yeah.
Action-oriented tower defense.
So I'm placing all this stuff, and they show you the lanes that things are going to come down as they come at you.
Which is similar to the first one.
This is actually a really complicated map, because there's like 5 different lanes I gotta deal with. Well,
that's what I mean, like the first one, at least the games I was playing, it seemed like it was mostly actual dungeons. You know what I mean? Not outdoor, like in areas or whatever.
So I gotta defend these secondary objectives too, or else they will open up more lanes. And more lanes is always worse than fewer lanes.
So true.
So I'm just gonna build up my little barricades here. These barricades don't actually do anything, but if something beats on them enough, they will explode on them.
That's handy.
So, these things I'm putting behind them are basically like fireball thrower turrets.
Okay.
So they just like throw fire at shit and make them die.
Sure.
Which I'm okay with.
Yeah, that's a good thing to do.
Seems reasonable. Like, hey,
sure.
you're trying to break all of our shit, so here's a fireball, die.
So you will burn, yes. Mm-hmm.
And a lot of this is figuring out choke points on the map, defending them, and also figuring out choke points that you will have a line of sight to.
Right.
Because you're kind of doing Overwatch over the whole map.
Well, like I said, this is a much larger area than I was ever defending.
This is significant in terms of like what you got to cover and deal with.
Right.
Oh, I can close this gate. Oh, but I can only close that gate for so long. That sucks. Alright, so I'm just gonna wall this entire chunk of area off, and I'm just gonna put turrets literally everywhere.
It's so weird because what you're talking about happens like a minute later. So,
yeah, the delay is real.
Yeah, it's always confusing. It's like, what gate? Oh, that gate.
Alright, so there's this, which I can wall this off here. And
yeah.
this is the one I'm going to have to watch because I've only got one thing here. But that is okay. So once I get everything put together here,
Then you
I'm
say
pretty
go.
much ready. I find my position that I can hold onto all this from. So from up here, I can actually see what's coming in on pretty much everything. I got 157 dudes coming in. I need to like waste all those dudes. So I'm gonna hit G to fire this up and make shit happen.
So you don't have to go to a certain point to start the
No.
action like before. Did you have to go to like a start pad or something? That's a little bit better.
So I'm playing the mage, which is kind of the technical class in this. Like my regular attack doesn't do a ton of damage, but it marks dudes. And once I mark dudes, I can kind of like just start nuking them.
I see.
Ow. I got things like this launcher attack where I can fire people up in the air.
Huh.
Which is pretty useful. And what I'm really looking for are, like, the little dudes my towers will pretty much handle. It's the big stuff that I kind of have to keep an eye on.
Right.
Because that's the stuff that will get a little hairy, depending on which guy it is.
Sure.
Like, these big assholes are super dicks. So I'm just gonna shoot them.
Fair enough.
And stuff drops over time for you, you'll pick it up. You know, it's got the whole, like, it's got the Diablo-style loot mechanics where...
Right.
Oh, they destroyed all my barriers. That's real bad for the first wave.
Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, this is a definitely...
Yeah, this is my first time trying this, so this is a little hairy. This is probably gonna go poorly.
This is definitely a lot more complex than the first one, at least
Yeah,
as
there's
far
a
as what I
lot.
did.
There's a variety of types of guys I've got to deal with. Alright, so the reason that my barriers are breaking here is this asshole outranges my towers, so I actually have to deal with him myself. Alright, so everything died. I'm on build phase again. I now have a new enemy type coming in, which is this glider that flies in and blows shit up.
Uh-oh.
That's bad.
Yeah. That's not good.
So... And it's the typical thing with like all the Dungeon Defenders games, like in between rounds, you kind of have a limited time. You know, you go get your green money or green mana and use that to build up your towers and change out your defenses and figure out what you're doing. Once all that's in place, you kind of do your stuff. There's also loot drops that happen here, and it's basically the same like item level system. that was in the previous game, where you kind of look at the stuff and say, okay, this is more powerful, less powerful than what I had. It does these things as stats, so I can take this. There's an upgrade mechanic for all your loot that was not in the previous game, I don't believe.
Huh. I don't recall anything
so
like
basically,
that.
I can take, if I can take loot that's not great, and I can feed it to other loot and improve it.
Huh.
Like, I can basically use that to continually upgrade things.
So it takes kind of like the middleman out of having to do like the Diablo style of salvaging and then crafting and stuff like that. It just, boom, it's done.
Yeah, kind of. It's more of like I take like your upper end stuff will have upgrade levels, and the higher upgrade level it has, the more you can enhance the abilities that's giving you already. So, like the let's say the hat I have gives me like 5 extra mana. Well, if I upgrade it and I beef that up, it'll start giving me 10 extra mana instead.
That's cool. Here's so it's more stats. It upgrades stats.
It's very stat heavy. There's a lot of like numbers flying off shit.
So here's a question I have.
Okay.
Because I haven't played Diablo. I mean, totally different from Dungeon Defenders, but I've been playing Diablo. I don't remember these gold globes falling out of off of as loot. What do you have any idea what the hell those things are doing? Should I be grabbing those, or is it a bad thing?
Oh, the gold globes in Diablo?
Yeah.
That is,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's Nephilim Valor.
Okay.
What that is, that's something you probably didn't see it. That's something they implemented in later game stuff.
Okay.
Once they started patching. What that will do is the more that you pick up, it's like level 60 plus only, but the more that you pick up, the more basically bonuses your character will start getting over time in combats.
Because it seems to only last, the effects only seem to last like a very short time.
They'll last a very short time, but you'll get significantly improved damage and other stuff for that time.
Okay, that's what I was wondering, because I mean, sometimes I've like picked up things and then realized, oh, that freezes me, that's not good. But this one I couldn't figure out if it was good or bad, because I couldn't tell what it was doing.
Yeah, Diablo 3, especially with the expansion, there's very few like there's very few debuff effects out there now.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, because that was new, and I'm just like, what the hell are those? And so far, that's the only thing new that I didn't experience when I was playing it before.
So the basic goal that I've found so far in Dungeon Defenders 2 is basically you place your towers in a way so that they will take care of all but the significant threats, and then you're basically bouncing around dealing with those kind of as they come up.
Sure. And you can see because my screen's it's small, so I can only see a little bit of the map.
You've got these significant like Overwatch positions where you can kind of get a vantage point of everything that's happening. And
as with most of these games, higher up is better for vantage point and all.
And basically the idea is you're staying up here, like, nuking things from afar. At least with my character, because I've got the wizard.
Well, yeah, you're the paper doll sniper, basically.
More or less, yeah. Like, my character's not made to mix it up in a fight.
Right.
Alright,
not exactly
so this is that kind of fight. So I'm gonna throw this thing at them that lifts them up in the air.
That's cool.
I put that little like blue circle over guys' heads, and that marks them. After I mark them, I can drop basically a spread shot that will hit all of them at once and do a bunch of damage. Which gives me kind of a bunch of random different abilities. As far as that goes. I'm being an idiot right now because I fell off my spot and I got stuck. Now I'm not helping any of my towers, which means I'm probably gonna fuck up real bad this round. Alright, that guy's dead. Alright, main barricade's under attack. Oh, that's the flyers. That's real bad. So there are flying enemies, like in pretty much every other tower defense game out there, that will just fly in, bypass most of your defenses. Oh, that's bad. Something just blew up a bunch of my towers.
Yeah, I never like flying enemies, because they're always so hard to target.
Yeah. So a bunch of my towers getting blown up. I feel like that's bad.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, this has been my problem with a lot of stuff coming up, is I'm not quite sure what to do to deal with some of this stuff. And that may be because I'm playing this stuff solo.
Are they like set spawn points?
Yes.
Okay, so you know where they're coming from if you played it once or something.
Oh yeah,
okay.
no, they like map out the spawns for you.
Oh,
like,
okay.
you know exactly where everything's coming from.
Okay.
You don't necessarily know what's coming, but you know exactly what's coming where.
I see. Well, that's something. So you know where the big bads are coming in and where the minions are? Okay. That's helpful, at least so you're not putting a ton of your barricades where you're not going to need them.
Alright, so now I'm in the build phase again. I got a little beat down in this round. So, and these rounds get like significantly hairier as things go on, so I'm probably not going to do real well here.
Uh-huh.
But I can look and see, like, okay, this one set of barricades actually did totally fine. This one I lost like 5 things. This one took some damage but was okay. And it's kind of like balancing that stuff out and figuring out what got beat up real bad and what was actually just totally fine.
Right.
And it'll show me, like, even looking at this thing, it'll show me, okay, there's 51 guys coming here through this way, so...
So definitely want to beef that puppy up. Yeah. Gotcha. So they give you a lot of info then.
Yeah, they will give you a ton of information as to what you're getting and what's coming.
I guess that's good for such a large area. Kind of it's interesting that they do that, just because you would think most tower defense, they don't kind of let you know what's coming up. But...
Yeah, the ones in this vein I have seen doing a lot of that. Okay, so like this range of defenses I had set up here, they all died completely.
Uh-huh.
So that means I need to figure out like something a bit better for what I'm doing here.
Sure. That's handy.
So what I'm doing is basically like around the corner I'm setting up my set of turrets.
Uh-huh.
In theory that the things will have to come around the corner, so there's not a lot that's going to outrange me, and they're going to come around the corner and just get immediately shot.
Sure.
Alright, so I put up a bunch of those, I upgraded a couple of them. That should be good. And you can see, like, on the mini-map, the stuff that's kind of blinking in red will show up as like, hey, this got messed up, you should probably do something about that.
Oh, yeah, so, that's handy. Yeah, like I say, my screen is really teeny tiny, so the map is, like, microscopic, almost, so I'm not able to see a whole lot of detail on it. That's why I'm asking those kind of questions. But yeah, that's definitely good information to have.
Yeah, the game is pretty good about letting you know what's going on.
Uh-huh.
And, I mean, I can also look at, like, okay, last round, just I wasn't super active.
Uh-huh.
Which means my towers are going to take a lot more damage.
Well, I'm curious if they're going to possibly have, like, different difficulty levels where certain difficulty levels that don't give you all that information.
There's an easy, normal, hard on this. It doesn't change what you know, but it does change the like health and damage of the things.
Because I would think the difficulty would be, more interesting if they didn't tell you where things are coming from. You know what I mean? Just
Well, the other big thing is you can play this with up to 4 people. Which I don't.
Yeah.
Because I've been playing the solo because I don't know when I'm gonna drop in and drop out of games.
Right.
And I would say this is actually a significantly easier game when you have more people managing stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Because it's such a large area. I mean,
yeah.
To have one person running around and fixing everything
like
takes time.
Just on the micromanage, like I already lost a tower here. I don't even know what the fuck just happened.
Yeah. Yeah, especially when the wave begins, I would imagine more people would be helpful, because then you could each take a zone and just set up shop.
I lost 2 towers here. Something real bad came through this area.
Damn. Yeah, this is definitely interesting. I can see it being really fun with multiple people playing. And also extremely chaotic.
Yeah, but at the same time, this is the thing that would make this significantly easier to deal with is...
Oh yeah, totally.
If you suddenly have like 5 people managing this as opposed, or 4 people managing this as opposed to just me running around like an idiot.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you there. Well, it'd just be more...
Like right there, all my towers blew up because one of the suicide bomber guys came in. And, oh god, okay, this is all bad. Alright. So all my towers at this gate just got blown up.
Damn. Yeah, it's, especially in the later waves, I mean, I can just see it being impossible to be a one-person army here.
I would say with a wizard, it's actually a little bit easier because you are all range attacks.
Do you have? I was gonna say, do you have AOE's or something? Or
yeah, like I just dropped a big AOE bomb.
Okay.
On all these. Oh, it was this fucker. Okay, so this guy burrows down and just does massive damage to your towers. So that's what happened to me.
I see.
He showed up and just nuked all my towers, and that was all she wrote.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I would say there are significantly more enemies in this that are just like pains in the ass like that.
I was gonna say just basic assholes, yeah.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Like it's basically like, hey, don't play the game the way I am, because it's very specifically gonna punish you for that.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Because
it's one of those games that I think it's in trying to encourage people to play with other people by making it annoyingly bad.
Drops at the end of the round when you play with groups.
What's that?
You get better loot drops at the end of a game when you.
Do you get personalized loot drops,
yes,
or is it okay? That's handy because I hate when everybody's scrambling to get all the loot. It gets
what'll happen is, so when I finish a game, there's a chest that opens for me. When let's say I'm with 4 people, there's 4 chests.
Okay, I like when they do that because that's the miserable part about the other style of game is that it just makes for a lot of arguments and angry feelings if one person's just the loot monger of the group that just runs around instead of actually doing their job.
But this is going to get into a position where I'm actually going to start running out of resources to counter the stuff that's coming at me. Because I had to replace a bunch of towers, and I've got to rebuild that entire defense on the one gate that got obliterated.
Right.
And I haven't even gotten to that yet, and I'm kind of low on stuff right now.
So you're just trying to find some loot and salvage areas. Yeah, I can see this. I can see me getting really frustrated playing by myself, but if I was with a few other people, could be a really fun game.
Yeah, and I think, I'm clearly, right now, I'm clearly playing this wrong. Because it does, I mean, you are very strongly encouraged to, hey, play this with other people, because...
You could tell games that are strongly encouraging group because it's painfully obvious fairly quickly, and this is one of those where it's
I can
painfully
do this
obvious
on my own, but I am it is significantly harder to do this on my own than it would be if I, like, yeah, there'd be more monsters and stuff coming at me if I had a group, but it would still be way easier to deal with.
But the pieces of pie would be a lot smaller to deal with things instead of you running your ass off map like you are. That makes it a significant, because you know, more monsters, that's not a big deal to me. That's actually more fun for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I could see it getting really old for me to have to run around this whole map all the time.
Yeah, it's this where, like, oh, there's a shitload of flying guys, I gotta deal with all these assholes right now, and everything else is also actively on fire, it's all bad, crap.
Yeah. Yeah, once the battle begins, it's sort of interesting, but at the same time, yeah, you have to make your choices quickly as far as what needs defending when.
Yeah, like right here, I've already got guys who've somehow gotten through, like, my main barricades, which this should not even be happening right now. I don't even know what the fuck just went on.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, somehow all my turrets just died.
Yeah, wow. Big fat little dudes running around, waddling around.
So yeah, I'm gonna lose this on this because they're already at the barricade, and you get to a point where you just run out of stuff you can actually do.
Right. I hate that feeling when you know it's pretty much lost before it's been officially lost.
This is done.
Yeah.
Like there are too many guys coming in.
Too many big bads and not enough stuff. I do not have enough stuff
I do not have enough resources I can deal with. I can try this nuke attack. That's gonna give me a few minutes of stuff I can do. Like right now, I'm just trying to hold out as long as I can because I will get more loot. That is the useful thing, is I'm gonna get loot regardless of this.
That is nice. Yeah.
Like I'm still gonna get stuff. But yeah, this, like, I was just overwhelmed because there was stuff I needed to manage at every one of the attack points, and I just can't do that on my own.
Right.
So I think that's why I would say about this game is, yeah, there's definitely cool stuff in here. You have to have a group to play this with.
Yeah, it's strongly encouraging. It's almost it's punishing you for playing solo.
Say, yeah, it is actively punishing me for not playing this with a group.
And I don't really appreciate that. I think it can be two different experiences. I don't think it should be the same experience. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of, in my opinion, a flaw in a lot of games instead of a plus. I think enough people. I mean, I have weird schedules and I can't always have group members.
If they swap this around so that when I was playing solo, if I had like 2 lanes, but all the things had way more health, so I had to be way more active with my powers and other stuff.
Right, and they could easily do that so that that's the case instead of
that wouldn't be a perfect solution because that would get monotonous over time, but that would still work. Like I would still have a functional experience at this point.
Right.
This, and I've seen this with a couple maps that I've tried, especially at this level range, where I'm I'm about midway through the game, like approaching the in-game content. It is very easy to get to a point where you cannot be in enough places at once to actually manage the content that's thrown at you.
Right, and in my opinion, that makes it kind of broken.
Yeah. So I would either have to vastly out-level the content that I'm playing,
and then that's no fun either.
Yeah, or I'm basically required to start grouping with people.
Right.
And I get that there are plenty of games that are based on like, look, you need to play this with other people.
Right.
Like I'm a gigantic fan of Killing Floor. The entire premise of that game is co-op.
Right.
Hearthstone, StarCraft. There's a bunch of games that I'm real into that are all about, like, look, you are not going to have a good experience playing this solo.
Right.
But this is, like, if they're going to go that route with this, it needs to be clearer.
Right.
Because it isn't right now.
And yeah, for me, I honestly don't like when, when it's exclusively multiplayer or, leaning that way, because, like I said, a lot of times I just don't have somebody else to play the game when I want to play it, when I'm available to play.
Here's the other part of this game, is the loot system.
Uh-huh.
So you'll see when I highlight over stuff, there's like an upgrade level, and like on my staff it's 6 of 6. On other, I've pretty much maxed out most of my gear. Mm-hmm. I've got a ring that's at 5 of 6. So what I do is I put the ring in this little thing, and I feed it other gear.
I see. So it's kind of like a sausage maker. It just grinds it up and then spits out.
Like I put all that in there, I hit the upgrade button, it'll tell me what happened, and then I can put it back in there, and it lets me upgrade the abilities. So this ring gives me ability power and defense power, and I can pick one of those things to put points into.
Uh-huh.
So I'll put it in defense power, because that'll make all my towers better.
Okay.
And you can upgrade most of your gear over time that way.
Uh-huh.
And the other thing the game does is it will give you a an item power rating for things. So I'll tell you what the difference is if you equip this item on your character.
I really do. That's a feature I like about Diablo, is to compare. Because honestly, I just don't know what's a better item a lot of times, and it's the only thing that I would on Diablo that I would prefer is if they told me right on the item which class it was meant for.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I know once you start playing it regularly, you know that, but just
the other thing it will do is I can go over here and start shooting at stuff, and it will tell me my DPS.
Oh, that's cool.
I can
That's
also,
really cool.
in this area, plant down a turret, and it will shoot at these dummies, and it will tell me that turret's DPS.
That's really helpful, actually. That's very cool.
Yeah. So
just to kind of pre-strategize things. That's kind of neat.
Yeah, so I can kind of see what I'm doing to targets. I can kind of see, how I'm affecting stuff over time.
Uh-huh. That's pretty clever. I like that a lot. Some RPGs could learn from that.
I can even upgrade the turrets in here. Crank up their damage, and I'll be like, oh, I'm doing that much DPS if I upgrade the turret to this degree. So, I guess what I would say I appreciate about this game is it is wholeheartedly a tower defense game.
Uh-huh.
It knows what it is,
right.
And it gives you every possible tool you could have to figure out what to do with that.
Sure. No, I love that feature alone, I think, makes it a really interesting game.
Yeah. And there's the shops in here. The shops are generally, as far as I can tell, kind of useless.
Yeah, they typically are in these kind of games.
Yeah, it's like the Diablo 3 shop. Like,
I was gonna say, I
never
never buy
found
anything in
useful
Diablo
in that
3.
shop, you're the one. Like,
yeah.
it doesn't occur.
Yeah, why would you ever buy from vendors in Diablo 3? That makes, there's no reason.
Of course, I say that, now here's this item that actually is apparently better than my current gloves. Which...
Yeah, but if it's anything like Diablo 3, the thing is it might be slightly better, but within the next couple of rounds, you'd probably get something better than that.
Well, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and buy this and equip it.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Just to show you, like, okay, here's how the upgrade system is working for this stuff. Because here's the thing, like, the gloves I have are completely upgraded. The ones that I just got are at 1 of 9.
Huh. Yeah, that's very cool.
So
you're starting ground zero, so it's only get better as you...
Yeah, so if I equip these, I get more defense power, I get more defense health, and I lose defense speed, I lose hero stuff, and the hero stuff I'm actually okay with losing, because, like, my hero doesn't die most of the time, because I'm staying back blowing stuff up.
Right.
So I put these in the thing, and I'm just going to start feeding it stuff. What I usually do is I'll feed it the stuff that's in red that I can't use anyway.
Right.
And a lot of it is stuff that's for a different character class. There's 4 classes in the game. There's the monk, the hunter, the wizard, the fighter. Yeah, and that's the 4. Each of them does different stuff. So okay, you see here I upgraded this thing to 5 of 9, and it has 4 points that I can spend on different stuff. So at this point, I'll go ahead and drop in some more things.
So wait a minute, it lets you choose the stat boosts?
Yes.
Huh.
So I'll go ahead and pop this in here, I'll upgrade it. It costs me a certain amount of gold. I have yet to ever run out of gold doing anything in this game.
Yeah.
Like, I've just had... Like, I've got 13,000 gold stuff. The most expensive thing I found is another bag slot, which I clearly don't need because I got 4 fucking empty bags. That other bag slot cost me 10,000 gold.
Yeah. Well, like in Diablo 3, the only things I spend on are upgrades in chest inventory slots because I'm a pack rat.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I just loot stuff. There's no reason to buy stuff. The only other time is when I'm gonna face a big bad. Sometimes I'll buy health potions.
Alright. So I've max upgraded this thing, so I've got 8 available upgrade points. I don't really need physical resist on this. So I'm just going to put it on my defenses.
Makes sense for a mage.
So I get defense health, defense power. And I swap that out, and then I'm good to go. So that's the kind of newer thing I would say about this that seems interesting, is the ability to just kind of pump up your gear. Especially because it eliminates some of the loot grindiness where like you can constantly upgrade your stuff because you can find something and then feed all the shitty loot you got to it.
Right. And that's what I liked about similarly what I liked about Diablo, being able to kind of grind that crap up.
The salvage system. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is more so because you're directly putting it into the item you want to upgrade.
Right. And like I said,
it's very specific upgrades that you put into it.
Right.
Like, here's the 3 stats this item has. Yeah, I want to upgrade these 2 things.
Right.
Cool, you pump all the stuff in there, you're good to go.
Like I said, yeah, I think that's what's interesting about this. It's cut out the middleman of doing any crafting.
Yeah.
It's basically more direct.
There's a tavern keeper over here to report a bug to, because hey, this is still an alpha.
Yeah.
He's just hanging out like, hey, what's up? I'm wiping out my bar. Yeah, any bugs? This is basically like your lobby area, where you would check stuff out. Like, this is where you could form a group up and go to a map. There's also the core game lobby, which is where you pick like what leveled set of instances you're going to go into. Right now I'm in the 10 to 15. I'll see if I can... Yeah, I'll go ahead and leave this and go back to the entry tavern. That's the other thing I would say is weird about this, is there's 2 levels of instance stuff in the game. Because I'm leaving this lobby, I'm going to a different lobby.
That's strange, yeah.
Yeah. But I'm in the entrance tavern. It's basically the same tavern. Like, it's literally all the same stuff. I can do all the same things in here. But if I go up to this guy, I can pick the level range I'm going to go into. So, and you can see on here, there's 1 to 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 25, and then 25 plus on 2 tiers for, like, basically what item level of stuff you have. So it's got almost like the World of Warcraft thing, like, I have this level, I'm at this item level, so I go into this level of group.
Kind of their version of matchmaking.
Yeah, so it's opened up 15 to 20 for me. I'm at level 11. So you do get things opened up for you significantly before you can really deal with them on your own. So it's one of those things where you're very heavily encouraged to play this in a group. I mean, I'm at 11. I was playing the 10 to 15 thing solo, and you saw me basically get rolled on the last 2 rounds of that.
Yeah. And
I would say I felt like I was doing that pretty well, and like I was kind of playing out my defenses. I had this stuff going, and I just didn't have a good way to deal with what was coming at me.
Right.
You know, there's just
you couldn't be everywhere at once.
There are too many places to be at the same time. And if I tried to centralize that down, what would have happened is I would have just gotten overwhelmed in one spot with too many minions. Because I've tried that as well.
Huh.
But yeah, I mean, Dungeon Defenders, it is unabashedly a tower defense game. It knows exactly what it is. There's this chess thing going on over here, which I'm pretty sure is going to be the free-to-play put money in here style stuff. This is not a free-to-play game, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be ways to put money into it to make it that way.
Interesting.
I don't know that for sure, but I'm assuming that's what this stuff is going to be, because there's this whole, like, key to unlock chests, get better loot without going through raids, stuff like that.
Or it could be kind of promo things.
Yeah, maybe. Based on how these games have worked, how this game worked in the past, I would expect that to be a thing that, hey, you can put money into this and get things.
Yeah.
I could be totally wrong. It might be something completely different, but it's just what I'm expecting to happen in there. You know, for better or worse, this has a lot of that free-to-play, pay-to-win, hey, World of Warcraft was pretty good, so we're going to sell everything off that vibe. Like, it feels a lot like that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not quite sure what to do with that. There's this weird basement area down here. I'm sure this is going to be, like, some kind of weird unlockable content later. I can't do anything with it right now.
And it could also be that this stuff will get flushed out when it's, you know, post-alpha, too.
There's a thing over here that says secret meetings.
Cool.
I don't know what that means. But there's apparently a table in the back of the bar that you can go have secret meetings at.
Means we're not done with this yet, is what it means.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is, you know, it's got pre-alpha watermarked in the lower right-hand corner. Like, this is clearly not, there are spots that totally say more stuff coming soon.
Right.
On different parts of the game, like, this is clearly not done yet. It's not feature complete, definitely. I would say saying this is a pure alpha is a little bit disingenuous, because it does seem to be, like, totally functional and working at this point.
There could be certain elements that are pre-alpha, you know.
I mean, there are definitely elements that are coming. There's definitely stuff that's on the way. And there's a lot of stuff like, hey, where I just ran into with the difficulty curve spiking because I'm playing solo, that might totally get adjusted and tweaked. That's stuff that you do even in betas.
Right.
So
it's very possible that they're going to try to do something. Yeah, hopefully they are. Because that's my only complaint at this point is that just the obvious punishment for playing solo. Yeah.
I would say this game seems cool. I played a little bit of the first one with some friends, and that was fun enough. You know, this is to me like a Left 4 Dead, where if you have a group of people who are going to get together on like a Wednesday night and say, hey, let's Dungeon Defenders, and you know that you're all going to get together and just do this, you should absolutely get this game, because this is going to be the game to do that with. Because you can hang out, you can have some drinks, you can goof off, you can voice chat, and just kind of do your thing. If you don't have that group, I currently question what you're going to get out of this.
I'm the same way. It would be unfortunate if this is really how they're planning to focus this.
but I can run around here and shoot my wand at things at random, and that's kind of...
Well, because in the end, unless do they have side-by-side in this?
Like, look at me shoot my wand around.
Yeah.
This is great.
Uh-huh. Do they have side-by-side co-op in this, or is it all...
It's all online.
See, this is
PC,
where
it's a Steam game, it is a...
And that's where I'm a little concerned, because it looks like a little bit more kid-oriented game. You know what I mean?
It's definitely got. I would say it's got that World of Warcraft vibe where everything's kind of cartoony.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's going for a younger audience, and yet they think that everybody's going to have online friends.
The other thing that bums me out, and again, this is still an alpha, but the controller interface is not active yet.
Yeah,
that's a super bummer to me.
Yeah.
Like, this is absolutely a game I would love to, like, kind of sit back, turn the 360 controller for my PC on, and just kind of run with.
I can see it being easily... Yeah, like I said, that's one thing.
Yeah,
both ways.
You've got 4 abilities, you've got 4 towers you can place. There's no reason this couldn't be on a controller.
Right.
Like, this would totally work on that. So I'm hoping that comes in soon. I want to play this controller. Currently, I'm doing keyboard and mouse, and like I don't like it. Like every time I boot the game up, I kind of like playing the game, but every time I boot up, I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I can't use a controller for this shit. Like it's kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I can see that. Like I said, I would really on the flip side of that, I really wish some of the console games you could play mouse keyboard.
Yeah.
I just think that there's no reason why you can't, when everything's USB now, do that.
Because making driver interfaces is hard.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that's why. Because that takes extra development time. That takes extra work. But I mean, Sony is so, like I said, Sony is so into the PC games, doing that they really should. But that this thing is here means like, hey, there's gonna be controller support,
right?
I'm assuming. So yeah, this will be a better game when that happens.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I can see that.
This game is something you should be able to play with a controller.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a better experience than I get right now with my keyboard and mouse. Because
I understand that.
Yeah, I don't know. This just feels clunky. Like this is the thing that just bummed me out about World of Warcraft after a point, is realizing there were so many goddamn buttons and everything on that screen. Like, it's never gonna work with a controller. Yeah. I just really want it to.
Yeah, there's no way. I mean,
yeah, but there's
no way you could do that.
Yeah, like you better off trying to plug a USB cable into your brain and just making it go that way. But still,
I mean, because no matter how you do the fold-out menus and stuff, crap like that, it's always awkward.
Yeah, no, it is.
It's the biggest stumbling block for Skyrim.
Yeah. I don't know, I play Skyrim on the PC with a controller.
Yeah, I know.
And I really enjoy that. Like, that feels totally fine.
I just don't like that as much as I like using the mouse keyboard for that style of game, at least.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, that's pretty much everything I have to show about Dungeon Defender 2. I'm just gonna zone out to this tavern music and shoot this dummy in the face for a while.
Okay, alright.
Alright. So.
Should we call it on trying to do the podcast tonight, since it's been an hour and a half?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Alright.
I'm gonna stop this recording though now.
Sounds good.